We're here in Cumbria, the Lake District, Lake Windermere, northern England. Without a question, without a doubt, one of the most beautiful places in the world. I'm surrounded by nature, sheep, animals, singing birds, flowers. It's just spectacular. With us now is Andrew McPherson, General Manager of the Holbeck Inn Hotel in the Lake District in England. Mr. McPherson, a real pleasure to have you with us today.
Pleasure to welcome you to Cumbria.
It is absolutely astonishing. This area is beautiful, one of my favourite places on earth, and your hotel is magnificent. Tell us a little bit about your experiences running this wonderful facility.
You're right in the fact that it's located in probably the most spectacular part of the United Kingdom, which of course attracts some very special people to come and stay with us. Of course you have the VIPs, but then you also have those people who are celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, or just want a general romantic breakaway. I think it's important that these little country house hotels still exist to allow people from the city to come out and relax and recharge their batteries before heading back into the city for a day or a week of hard work.
Recharging one's batteries is always, of course, essential. Please tell us a little of the history of this wonderful establishment you have here.
Well, it stretches right back into the sort of real history of hospitality. The founder of the AA, the Automobile Association, was Lord Lonsdale, and it was his hunting lodge, and he built it around the 1850s. And he was the chap who also gave money to the British Boxing Association for the Lonsdale belt. So we've got quite a good heritage, because obviously the AA now of course grades hotels throughout the country, and it was this very building in which the AA was founded. So that was the Lord Lonsdale connection. It was then owned by a cinema chap who had lots of cinemas throughout the north of England, and he was the chap who was responsible for the introduction of a lot of the arts and crafts features within the house. There's lots of Rennie Mackintosh, lots of Charles Voysey, lots of specific detail that is related to the arts and crafts period from the sort of early 1900s, when it was really blooming around the Lake District and coming out of course, Glasgow as well. It was in a private house for probably about nearly 50, 60 years actually, before it was turned into a hotel, and it's been a hotel since the sort of 1985. 1985 it was a hotel start-up.
Tell us of the facilities you have here.
It's 23 bedrooms, so it's very small hotel, and that allows us to, of course, focus on the service quite a bit. We have a spa, 3 treatment rooms, sauna, a steam room and a jacuzzi. We've also got the restaurant where our chef very proudly has maintained a high standard for 13 years, and the Michelin Guide has awarded him 1 star consecutively for 13 years, which is a real achievement in an industry where the turnover is so high. To have the same chef delivering the same quality for 13 years is quite outstanding.
Describe for our audience why the Lake District is regarded as one of the premier destinations on Earth.
On Earth is quite spectacular. It is the fact that it's the natural scenery. The Cumbrian Mountains are truly spectacular. The lakes that were formed by the glacial retreat are some of the deepest in the United Kingdom, or the deepest in the United Kingdom. Wastwater is the deepest in the United Kingdom. Lake Windermere, which we overlook, is the longest or the biggest lake in the United Kingdom. And dotted in between all that natural beauty are these lovely, cute Cumbrian villages, all of which, of course, are focused on tourism and are full of antique shops or galleries, quaint pubs, nice little cafes. The whole area has been reinvented, if you want, from a mining or agricultural community into one that is the premier tourist district within the United Kingdom. There's us, then of course there's the Cotswolds and the West Country, but we do really stand out as the place to go for relaxation in the United Kingdom.
And of course, the Lake District has been an inspiration to authors, artists, poets, William Wordsworth among the poets. Tell me a little of the VIP guests you had here, if you're permitted.
Of course, I thought you were going to ask me to quote some Wordsworth then, which... Yeah, we're very lucky. Because of our situation, because we are a really small hotel, we are able to provide that good level of service, and it does attract the footballers from the big northern cities like Manchester United. It also attracts a lot of the pop stars such as Lionel Richie, and we recently hosted Renée Zellweger. We also hosted Charlize Theron and her team of actors when they were here filming Snow White, and they went off into Grasmere and around about it, which was quite enjoyable actually, because they were quite fun and quite lively and brought a lot to the party. We've also had Wayne Rooney, who've joined us for New Year. Because we are quite secluded and secure, we are able to make sure that we can keep the paparazzi at bay, and we don't really get any issues when it comes to that sort of thing. When I was up at Skibo Castle, we looked after the marriage of Madonna and Guy Ritchie, and that was a little bit of an eye-opener into a media scrum. So we have plenty of experience at being able to cope with those types of events.
Well, socialising with celebrities, of course, has to be entertaining and fun. But other than that, this area is so spectacularly beautiful. The scenery is amazing. Lake Windermere out the window here, and the mountains, the sheep, the flowers. Tell us of the amenities with regard to sporting activities and so forth.
As I mentioned before, the Lake District is the UK premier leisure destination, so we have lots and lots and lots of things for guests to do whilst they're here. We employ mainly local staff, so they have the local knowledge to be able to direct you to places that you would wish to go to. We have a walking guide who's Mark Eddy from Mountain Journeys, and his local knowledge of the area is truly spectacular. If you've got a specific thing that you wanted to enjoy or view, he would know where to take you. Of course, we've also got sailing, there is the climbing, there's mountain biking. We've got mountain bikes at the hotel that you can take out and use. There's a whole host of stately homes such as Holbeck Ghyll, which is fantastic gardens. There's Levens Hall, which is fantastic gardens. There really is everything for a tourist to enjoy and to attract you back once you've been. I think you could probably keep coming back year after year after year and still have things to do, which is the important thing of a tourist destination. Families as well. We have quite a lot of indoor family activities, which is, you know, when you do have inclement weather, it is rather useful to be able to take the family under cover.
Before we conclude, I must ask you this question. I've been all around and seen many things all over the world, but I have to tell you, the way you manage this hotel is unique and it is spectacular, hands-on, everybody involved in a spirit of teamwork. It's really very impressive.
Well, you're right. It's about leading from the front, and it's about engaging with your team. It is quite a small team here. We have 40 people, and you do need to be there to show them the style of service that you need and the hospitality that you expect to be delivered to the guest. Obviously, when you're coming to stay at Holbeck, it's not a cheap experience, and you do really expect, or the guests have a very high level of expectation when they come through the door, and it's up to us to exceed that, to go over and above that. We do try and find out as much about our guests as possible before they arrive here, but the most important thing, of course, throughout your stay, I need my staff to interact with you so that we can understand what you want to get out of your visit, where you want to go, if there's any issues that we can solve whilst you're here. That only comes through my staff talking to the guests and then feeding that information back to our team, which we react on really, really quickly. I think in the majority of people that are employed in the hospitality industry, that there is an internal core of hospitality. It's just allowing that personality to flourish and come out. And in such a wonderful environment, the right type of leadership helps that to appear. And I'm glad they were looking after you.
I must say, I have to recommend Holbeck Ghyll to all my viewers, and I myself would like to come back here one of these days.
You're very welcome.
Real pleasure having you on the
Very
show.
welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This concludes our special programme for today from On Location in the Lake District of Northern England. I'm Richard Perrott. Thank you for being with us.